Okay, guys, this is my behind the scenes of Today with Pastor Jay, and you're not going to believe who's on my show. Oh my goodness. Yes, I have. Oh, I got to put this over here. I have on my radio show the infamous mayor of Palm Coast, uh, the one and only. I don't even know how he got on my show. I got to talk about this before I really start recording because I did text him and said, I want to interview you flat out. I'm not going on WNZF. No. I was like, I pay for my own show. No, not coming on that show. It was a miracle,
Uh,
miracle that he's on my show. I mean, he's been drugged through the mud, but he's on my show. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but
let's not classify it as a miracle. We'll save our miracles for other things.
we'll save our miracle for things. But thank you. Can I get you? I just need you in the microphone a little bit. I'm going to do my very best. I hope you guys are praying because I'm going to do my very best not to roast him this morning, but I got some tough questions. I do. So, guys, you could throw your questions in the chat. Hold on. I wonder why I'm not on YouTube. That's not good. I'll have to upload this to YouTube later. Hmm. I must
You
not
got
have
the
hit.
raw video. You can upload it real
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I can have to do that. Anyway, let me get it on YouTube. But I am on X and I'm on Facebook. I must not have hit the button. That's all right.
I haven't seen you on X. I'm going to have to find you.
I'm on X.
I
Yeah.
don't use it that
Yeah, you
much.
know much. I'm on X. I'm on
Well, I
X.
just monitor federal politics,
Oh, okay.
international on
Gotcha.
there.
Okay. Well, we're going to get right to it. You ready?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
All right, we're ready.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Geraldine Denny.
Good morning. Good morning. Wake up. Good morning. And today we're going to bring clarity to conflict and purpose to public service. I am your host, Pastor Geraldine Denny, and today I'm joined by Palm Coast Mayor Mike Norris. Mike Norris recently filed a lawsuit challenging the appointment of Councilman Charles Gambaro. And that lawsuit was dismissed, but the conversation around leadership, transparency, and accountability continues. So I got to say, I want to just thank you so very much for coming on the show. It's not your first time on the show.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you so very much for your courage and all that you've done and for your courage of coming on the show because these questions are not going to be easy. And I want to know what led you to file a lawsuit. I mean, what exactly did you hope to accomplish in filing a lawsuit against the city that you serve?
We had more than 60,000 people disenfranchised during the last election.
Hmm.
Um, that was a strictly political appointment by a lame duck city council. And people need to know that their mayor is going to stand up for their rights and protect their vote. I have nothing against Councilman Gambaro. Well, I do as far as politics and some of the things that he's trying to do. But when it comes down to the people being represented by people that they elect is a big deal. And when you disenfranchise 60,000 people, I don't take that lightly. And we'll see what happens going forward. But you can't do that. It was a lame duck appointment. They the initial legal opinion from the city attorney was to wait until after the election. So that's the question that people need to be asking. Why did they change after the primary? Because they were all three of those guys were voted out of office, and they didn't want the opportunity to slip by them to get somebody in that seat. But in doing so, they disenfranchised 60,000 people. The judge's decision, we know where we stand, and other people are right now contacting the attorney general. So we'll see what happens from there.
So critics say that this suit cost taxpayers roughly about $30,000 and lacked legal standing. How do you respond to that?
Well, we have to figure out who does have standing. If I don't have standing as the mayor of the city and a resident and a taxpayer, who does? The judge in his ruling, one thing, there's a couple of things in that ruling. Because I was in the room when he gave his decision. The main the main thing is when he said, or they said, I don't know if it was the supervisor of election or the judge that said it. We don't have the supervisor of election for an election.
Hmm.
The certifying officer is the city clerk. So that's one thing. That's something to remember. We don't have to have the supervisor of election involved to have an election in our city. And two, the judge pretty much said, paraphrasing, he said that they did the best they could. Well, if the best they can do is to disenfranchise 60,000 people, we need to fix it. Because I know for a fact, and it's on file now, everybody can see it. Marcus Duffy's legal opinion initially was to wait until after the election, and that was on the 19th of August. The only thing that changed was that election date of the 20th. And from there, it just goes downhill.
Did you receive legal advice before filing? Um, as one of the council members claimed that you didn't receive any legal advice.
I got that legal opinion. I discussed it with Marcus, and I gave him actually a path forward how to fix it. Excuse me. And uh, Mr. Blocker's comment and the email he sent the city council on Monday night. Mr. Blocker, our conversation, as I remember it, and it's the truth. I called him sitting inside my truck and I blasted him. I'm like, look, you guys messed up. And it was strictly a political appointment from a lame duck city council. And I let him know that they disenfranchised 60,000 people. Neither of those attorneys would ever told me that I didn't have standing. Neither of them. And they can push the narrative any way they want, but never did someone say, well, sir, you don't have standing to sue. Why would I even be asking about standing to sue? I was the mayor. And right at that moment back in December, I was not contemplating suing the city. But I did want to know the truth, and I got the truth. They allowed a lame duck city council to appoint that position.
Looking back now, would you have approached the lawsuit differently?
Um, Maybe I doubt it, but we know it was. I spent my money to bring the case, and you have to. And I know one of the questions probably be,
Mhm.
why'd you wait? Well, I'm not a wealthy man, Pastor Jay.
That wasn't one of my questions,
I
but
I
okay.
had I had to save money, and actually, that was money I had saved to give to food pantries as part of my campaign pledge.
Hmm.
I've already given two scholarships. I gave two $2,500 scholarships in May, one for each of the high schools, and that was money I had in my Marcus account, waiting to, you know,
Hmm.
to distribute that to two different food pantries. So I used that money, and as far as the cost to the city, they knew going in the legal cost, and they got an outside firm. That outside firm should have never been standing up there. Marcus Duffy should have been standing up there, you know, paying another counsel to come in, and you say all the conflict of interest you want. Well, there are plenty of conflicts of interest. Marcus Duffy was one of the sworn statements that went on the ethics complaint that went up. So, but he should have been the one there adjudicating that case because he was the one that made the decision. And I really think the judge. One of my biggest issues was I don't know if the judge knows that our positions are nonpartisan as far as primaries are concerned. But we have established our charter review committee, and hopefully they're going to uh, iron out all the kinks in our charter that allowed for this,
Hmm.
if that's the case. Um, so, and one of the city council members said some time ago when they were roasting me that we're all the same. We're all equal. No one's, more important than the other. Well, that's true. We have 5 votes, but I'm the mayor.
Right.
And every piece of, every ordinance, anything that we pass in that chamber, guess whose signature has to go on it?
Yours.
Mine. Not
Right.
everyone signs that. The same thing with bringing over Chief Strawbridge to help out the city. That wasn't done out the goodness of the city manager's heart. That was done because only I can sign um, an interlocal agreement. Once the council approves it, I have to sign it. So all this stuff that goes down in the city, any laws, any ordinance, anything that goes in the city, I have to sign it. That's my signature. That's my reputation.
So, what does leadership look like when the charter, the law, and public trust kind of collide? What does that look like?
A mess like we have now, I suppose.
Right.
So we're gonna have to figure it out. The charter review committee, hopefully they'll iron out some of those issues. And one thing I will say, at a minimum, if we have to have a special election for the mayor, and if we're all equal, make every position a special election. Don't leave it a chance that something like this is going to happen. Now, this may be a unique thing, but I can tell you that when um, Miss Hyder said she was going to resign, I called her on the 19th or the 20th, and I begged her to stay until after the next council.
Mm.
And she said she was taken aback and felt disrespected because I asked her to stay because I knew what they were going to do. I knew that they were going to push to appoint someone in that seat that we didn't need there. And those three gentlemen lost their elections fair and square in the primary. They were lame duck, but they wanted to get one of their boys on that in that seat.
Mm. All right. Well, we got to take a break. And when we come back, Mayor Norris responds to the council's second censure and the request for his removal from office. This episode is brought to you by Church on the Rock, Judah One Aviation, and Gray Eagle Strategies, partners in purpose and prayer. You're listening to Table Pastor Jay Moorhead with Mayor Mike Norris.
I like your pink
You like my pink?
pink embroidery. That's pretty cool.
Oh, pink. I got pink. I got pink everywhere.
I can't do it. I wore my name on my shirt the whole time I was in the military.
Oh, you
And
can't do it now.
like those little tags
Oh,
they
yeah.
give us this stuff, even at the rec, they gave us
You
that.
can't do the name.
I can't
After
do
so
it.
many years, I know.
I can't do it. Don't no.
I know. It's kind of, yeah, I know. I get you. Okay. You ready? We're back with Mayor Mike Norris, and on July 15th, the Palm Coast City Council voted 4-1 to censure you for the second time and to send a letter to Governor Ron DeSantis requesting your removal from office. And I'm glad you did not vote to censure yourself. That would have been kind of interesting. So,
I should have done it. I should have. But at least we agree on something.
yeah, I mean, so what's your response to the council's vote?
Um,
And I mean, in the letter to the governor, I mean, what's
they can do whatever they want. But
well,
I
apparently.
I would challenge them if you want to get rid of me.
Hmm.
Do a recall. Let's see if you have the power in our city to do a recall. Collect those petitions and do a recall. And I even challenged two of those council members, or all of them, resign to run against me.
Ooh.
Resign and run against me. Go ahead and do it. Let's see how that pans out for you. Because the media, we have three media outlets here in this city:
Mhm.
WNZF, Palm Coast Observer, and Flagler Live.
Well,
Well,
loosely.
loosely.
I mean, come
Um,
on.
uh,
Why you even
Pierre,
do that on my
Pierre,
radio show?
Pierre probably sleeps with Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals under his pillow at night. He's an anarchist, I guess. But
I didn't say that.
resign to run. Well, I can say what I want about him. He in a phone call with him, he said I was a nut job. So no one should ever take that guy seriously.
Okay, so he said resign to run, recall you. But
Recall me.
let
And
let's
if
just say
the
this.
judge if Governor DeSantis wants to remove me, he can remove me. But I'm here to represent the people of Palm Coast, and I'm going to keep fighting for my constituents that overwhelmingly elected me. Um, and if the governor wants to remove me, that's fine, and I'll take that. I can take that hit. But I would really appreciate it if he would give me a phone call so I can tell him all the stuff that's going on in our city when he does it.
Speaking of the people of Palm Coast, just recently on WNZF, there was on a Free Fall Friday that your city cell phone number was put out there for people to text you
Yes,
about um,
they doxed the mayor of the city
right.
because our city cell phones are not open to the public.
Well, they're not
They are not. Our numbers that are on the website when you go to pull up our contact info
right.
is the number to the office. And
I'm not, I'm
I'm
not going to get into any of
yes,
that, and you didn't know I was going to do this,
yeah.
but I'm just going just like you didn't know they were going to do that either. I'm just curious. Uh, have you gotten any responses?
Yes, and it's more pro than con.
Really?
Well, they'll do an information request on my phone and they'll see it, but it wasn't that many.
It wasn't that many,
It
but
was
most of the people been
well,
supporting
the
you.
first one was Jeremy Davis. Jeremy Davis texted me, and I didn't have his phone number saved in my city phone. And he texted me and said, "Hey, they just put out your phone number on WNZF. I just want to let you know you're doing a good job."
Oh,
And everybody that was listening to it, well, a lot of people hit me up saying, "Hey, they're spreading your information on WNZF." So, but it wasn't that bad. Um, but just the fact that they would do something like that is kind of childish. So, but
I
they're
got
trying to control the narrative,
well,
and
okay.
all the press in this city has been negative
Hold
since
on.
before I went on
Listen,
vacation.
this is Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio. So I got to take up for the station that I'm on. And I think it's a pretty good station because Today with Pastor Jay is on it. So let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Pontieri said you misrepresented legal advice on the dais. How do you respond to that claim?
No, because she was referring to the email from Mr. Blocker, and he started out his email. He said
Mhm.
something about a meeting that I had with Mr. Duffy, Lauren Johnson, and
Oh,
Jason DeLorenzo. Well, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that Jason DeLorenzo was not sitting in a meeting with me and the city attorney and the city manager. And I went back and looked at my schedule for
hmm.
that meeting, and DeLorenzo was not one of the invites.
Oh. All right. So here's another one. Councilman Gambaro called your behavior toxic and a clear and present danger. Dun, dun, dun. What's your message to him and to the residents watching this unfold?
I'm, my advice to him would be stop reading Tom Clancy and try to govern and do your job uh, without attacking your mayor.
I,
Um,
I saw that his phone number was placed on social media as well,
uh,
and that was something that.
Mr. Gambero um, uses his personal, as far as I know, uh, uses his personal phone for
Mhm.
business, because when I won the election, I got a text from a number I didn't know, and it was him saying, "Congratulations, I look forward to working with you." Okay, so why would you? Well, one, you want to avoid sunshine law violations. He should have never texted me from his private number, which I didn't know it was his private number. I just assumed that it was his city number.
Oh,
So when you use your phone, like if you use your phone for business, it's open for search, so people can put in those FOIA requests if they want.
that is
But
true. I,
but
I
once
learned that from another
but
elected official. That's true.
but once he went crying to the press, and I saw that he had said something about it, I'm like, okay, I'll switch it. And I told him on the council, I said that was a personal courtesy. I'm like, um, you put my number out there, you guys dox me, and that was the only number I had, and I assumed that it was his. I had to go in and actually search the city directory to find his cell phone number.
Mm,
So our cell phone numbers are not public, as you know.
I don't have.
Mr. Ayers says it's the public's phone. Well, it is the public's phone, but you got to protect your elected officials.
Okay, let's shift just a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you maintain focus and faith in the face of public criticism and political pressure? What most people don't know about you is that you attend church services, you are a man of faith.
Yes, ma'am.
So, how do you maintain your focus and your faith in the face of public criticism and political pressure?
Um, you're exactly right. It's faith. I've gone through people, and I don't want to get into my personal business too much, but I've gone through a lot since this election.
Uh-huh. I
I
know you
I
have.
I lost my brother right after the election, and I lost my sister in January. So I've been dealing with all that stuff, and I would tell you a little bit more, but
That's okay.
that's a bit too personal.
That's
But
okay.
my church family, I'm a member of Shepherd of the Coast Lutheran Church on Pine Lakes. We have been a member of that church since 2009. Our kids were confirmed there. Sean actually attended pre-K there. I commissioned Christian there,
Hmm.
when in the chapel when he got commissioned to ensign in the Navy. I was the one that commissioned him. But I have my little theologian at the house. I have Sean,
Right.
and Sean goes, we'll go through and we talk about things, and we put it in there's evil in the world,
Right.
and you have to fight it off, and you do what's right. And I've always been that kind of person. I'm just a country boy at heart, and I've always tried to do the right thing. And I grew up in the military. And in the military, you're trying to do the right thing, accomplish the mission, take care of your people. And that's what I'm trying to do here, accomplish what the city needs done and take care of the residents. And I'm going to keep doing it. And with God behind me, come at me and I'll fight you tooth and nail all the way.
All right. Well, Stay with us, guys. Mayor Norris is going to share what's next for Palm Coast and how faith fuels his leadership. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Today with Pastor Jay. You ready? Okay. How much time I have? So, yeah. Okay, we're doing good. I'm doing good. Okay, you ready? Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Say What Pat Say. Blah, 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 blah. That's why it's pre recorded. Okay.
You
ready?
always do that.
I don't know why. Okay. Okay, let's look ahead with the mayor of Palm Coast. So, Mayor, despite the challenges, what's your vision for Palm Coast? I mean, come on. What are your top priorities? Let's forget everything. Let's move ahead from today forward. All that other stuff is going. Let them fight it out. Let them duke it out. Let them come up with all their other stuff. Forget everything. What are your top priorities for this city moving forward? Are you at a place right now where you can just say, "Okay, I'm done with all the rhetoric. These are the priorities."
Yes, I do my work in the chamber.
Hmm.
Um, I don't I don't get that outside influence and people lying and misleading and trying to manipulate me.
Right.
I do my work in the chamber,
Okay.
and I'll continue to do that. But our main focus right now is getting our water systems up to speed, which
It's a hot mess,
we the people of
or a
Palm
wet mess, or whatever.
the people of Palm Coast are investing a lot of money into our water treatment facilities.
Hmm.
That's number one, is getting our water treatment facilities, and it's going to cost us. And I even told people the other day at the city council meeting, one lady came up and she has a leak in her house,
Mm.
and she had over a $3,000 bill. Well, the city can work with her a little bit to try to straighten that out. But our water system is an enterprise fund. So that means there has to be dedicated funds for that. That's why our rates are going up 6%, 6%, 6% until 2029, because we're investing, we're going to be, and people fight me on this all the time. They say our city's not in debt. The utility is in debt. Well, that's not true, because the utility belongs to the city. So we were already 155, if I'm not mistaken, $155 million in debt. Now, after October, we're going to be more than a $500 million in debt
Mm.
for just our water treatment facilities. So it costs a lot to live here, and I have to let the people know that the rates are going up because it's being honest. It's not their fault. It's not the government ripping them off or charging them too much for water. It's
You just
because
need to be transparent about what's
you
going on.
yes, you have to pay it. Somebody's got to pay that tab, and it's us.
Mm.
Development, whatever they say, development does not pay for itself.
Mm.
It does not. And we are seeing that. We are paying for mistakes that have been made since 1999.
Mm. So,
Primarily the purchase of the utility to begin with.
right.
We were taken advantage of in that to begin with.
So, how does your faith guide your leadership decisions?
Um,
I mean, because this is a lot.
no, it's you got to stay focused, and people are reading the articles and stuff. I encourage everyone to watch the city council meetings, because I think I've run a very effective meeting,
Hmm.
and we get through things very quick. We just went through the paint color thing. We finally ironed that out. We got the commercial motor vehicles coming up. That's coming up in the queue, and hopefully the staff is going to come for some
Right.
alternatives that's going to work for the city. So, Pete, don't take it from the media. Watch the meetings yourself. Sometimes they're boring, but if you want true facts, watch the meetings. And I'm going to keep pushing forward, and keep doing the right things for the city. And we have to get more industries in here. And that's been one of my core tenets, is to bring industry in here. Um, Fast food restaurants and stuff like that. That's okay, but those are not high paying jobs. We need to bring those industries, especially if we can get them, the space industry, that are going to be a sustainable income for families living here. Um, for me personally, and people can put this on their calendar. I am having a town hall meeting on the 28th, 6 p.m. at the VFW,
The 28th of July?
July,
Oh,
this month.
wow.
So I'm having a town hall at the VFW on the 28th, and it's at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's 2 hours, and I will be providing refreshments and pizza and refreshments and stuff like that. So people can come that Monday night and come ask me all the questions they want. I've allocated 2 hours. I would go longer than that, but I'm just going to go 2 hours.
So the people in the city can come out and talk to you and
Yes, ma'am.
air their concerns or
Yes.
grievances or whatever it is. You're going to be an open
Yeah.
book, transparent.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
pretty cool. And you're putting
Yeah.
yourself out there like that.
Yeah. Well, the city is doing town halls, and some of the other members of our, I think Pontieri's done one. I'm doing mine on my own. It's on no dime of the city. It's on me. I'm paying for it. I'm renting the hall. I'm paying for the
Well, you just
refreshments and
cost them
stuff.
30 grand.
I didn't. That
I
the
had to do
city,
it.
the city has insurance for stuff like that,
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
yeah. Well, we'll iron it out and see how that
Right.
goes. But
Okay.
like I said, why don't you recoup that money from Douglas Law Firm, because
Ooh.
they should have been representing us in that case.
Cha-cha-ching. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so very much for coming on the show, and just sharing your side and being transparent about it. And I hope, and I speak on behalf of just everyone, I hope that we get to see you more,
Yeah.
that you come out and represent the residents of those that have elected you to be their mayor, and that you would be ever present because you haven't been ever present.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you speaking out about the challenges and the things that you have been going through in your personal life. So condolences to you and to your family, and we'll
Mhm.
be praying for you. But I know the people of Palm Coast want to see their mayor.
Yeah.
They want to
Well,
see you out there.
well,
So,
this is one thing, and we can add this.
right.
My telephone number for the city is
I don't know what it is.
uh 386
Okay.
276 4016.
Okay.
So if people have a concern, I am fully retired, so um,
Is that the same number that was given out on
that's the
Flipro?
same number that was
Oh,
given
okay.
out. Yeah. So
Okay. Okay.
they can contact me,
Okay.
386 and if I can't answer their question, I can point them in the right direction. I don't mind my telephone number being out there, but the way it was done, and that is just, just a vicious attack. And all these people are political posturing for the next election. But
Right.
I can tell you right now, they're not getting my vote. None of those people on that council will get my vote.
Mm.
And at the moment, that's the way it stands. And
Well,
so,
again, thank you so very much for coming on the show and just sharing your side. All right, guys, today Mike Norris reminded us that leadership isn't always clean, but it must be courageous. So I'll leave you with this. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow isn't promised. What are you going to do today? Maybe today you pray for your leaders. Maybe you step up into the arena. Maybe you choose clarity over chaos. Until next time, have a great day. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.